What's up guys, EVK here. I'm going to be doing another deck profile of my Infernity deck. And by the way it's been going, this might be my very last profile for this deck because I've been really tweaking and working with it, and I just feel like this is the best run that I've ever used, I've ever seen, or whatever. So I'll just try to get started, and let's get started. So I run double tour guides. Targets are usually going to be your Necromancer, and it's just a good searcher. It's tour guide. There's no reason why not to. Double Grepher, two of them, cause it's hand control, it's graveyard control, and it's a good 17,000 normal monster. It's pretty nice. Then I put in a 1 Armageddon Knight because sometimes I don't have a card to discard for Grepher, or sometimes I just don't want to discard. So Armageddon Knight's a really good card to put in. Then I put double Stygian Street Patrol. Very, very, very amazing card in this deck. It's a staple in this deck, honestly. Now it's just considered a staple for Infernities or any Fiend-based deck. It's just a beautiful, beautiful card in this deck, and I consider running 2. 3 is just too much. It's clunky, it gets stuffy. You end up not liking it, trust me. So I just run 2. Then those are for the regular monsters. Now time for Infernities. I run double Mirage. They're like mini launchers, really good, and you can make some extra combos with them if you're running the synchros. All up to you, but I do. Then I run 1 Avenger. The reason on why I want Avenger now is because he's the bridge between the Exceed to the Synchro run. If I don't have him, I can go for Exceeds. If I do, I can go for Synchros. It's just a good card. And just 2 is honestly too much, honestly. Once you have 1, you're done. That's it, you're good. You just keep on going. 1 is just perfectly fine. I wouldn't change it at all. If you do, it's your choice. Then you would run triple Necromancer. Very good card. I would run 3. You can run 2, but I don't know. If I'm running 2, I feel like, oh, that card would have been another one. I should have ran it. La la la. I would be having this big pointless debate. So run 3. Then something that you have no choice, really. Triple Archfiends. They're the #1 searcher of the deck. They're great beat stick, combo starters. Oh my god, this card's just beautiful. I wish I could run more of them. But 4 pretty much. And that's all for my monsters. I'm trying to lessen them down, but this is the most I can get. Most I can think that are good. And time for traps. I got, for the negation, or protection, whatever you want to call it, some demonic looking Solemn Warning. I don't know why it looks like that. 1 Solemn Judgment. Then obviously triple barriers. Barriers are just a total middle finger to your opponent, so there's obviously no reason why not to run them. It's just a very, very good card. Freaking beautiful. Then you got a little bit of protection, such as double Compulse, double Torrential, and then 1 Bottomless. I went from 2 to 1 Bottomless because, I don't know, I just decided to run 1 instead. I put in a Compulse extra, I think. I forgot what I swapped out, but I just run 1 instead because, I don't know, why not. Then I got double Infernity Break. I used to run 3, but not 3, but now I run 2. 2 is smooth, 3 is clunky. It's, like I said, it's personal preference, but this has been my best deck ever. I've beaten so many decks with it. I've beaten Spellbooks, Elemental Dragons, Hazy Flames, Fire Fist, and a lot of decks, honestly. So I just run 2. It's fast enough, it's smooth, and it's also clean. Then I put 1 Inferno. I could not get a second one, so I decided to swap it out, and you'll see it later. But right now 1 is actually pretty good. I'd rather run 2, but one doesn't hurt. 1 is very good. It's a hand slimmer, and it could fill up your deck. Graveyard, I'm sorry. Then I run Heavy Storm and Monster Reborn. I don't run Dark Hole anymore because this is a completely combo-based deck to the point where Dark Hole is unnecessary. And you may think I'm a noob or a bad player for doing that, but like I said, this has been the best run I've ever used, so I'm keeping it the way it is without, but I run the 2 instead. Then I run a Rhoda. Your target's going to be Armageddon Knight or Grepher. Foolish Burial. Your targets are usually going to be Street Patrol, Archfiend, Mirage, or the Avenger. It's all on you. It's all in the situation. Then you got a 1-for-1. Your main target is to try to go for Mirage. But if anything, you can still go for Avenger for it. It's just a really good card. It's also a good hand slimmer. You got a Dark World Dealings for the plussing and discarding, so it's a good card. Then I'm running double upstarts instead because, I mean, it's one card. It doesn't hurt you and it can help you. I run 2 instead of 3. People run 3, I run 2 because that 1 does make a difference. Then for the Infernity spell, last but not least, for the Infernities, I'm sorry, Launcher. Just, if this card can go to 2, let it go to 2. If it can go to 3, fuck yes. If it can go to 4, well, then we're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh anymore, are we? But it's just fucking beautiful. It's just, godly. 2 cards I decided to run. One of them, it's personal preference, and people say don't run it. I'm like, it helps me. Card Destruction. The reason why Card Destruction is because, like, if I have too many monsters in my hand and I activate this, there you go. There's my answers. I get a majority of monsters in my graveyard. I get my hand slimmed by 1 card at least. And then whatever I draw, I'll work with whatever I get. I just like using it. It has not done wrong yet, but I like using it. And then the very last card to make this deck of 40 is one card that no matter what, I'm going to keep. Because it's just such a hilarious card, and I can't see running without this. Question. Yup, pretty much. I bet you guys have not seen this card in a very long time, or even ever. Question. It's so freaking hilarious. If you don't know what it does, long story short, the very first, it's hard to explain too. The very first monster that is going to be on the bottom of my graveyard. Like, let's say my graveyard is, for example, let's say it's this thick. The very first monster that I will send, if they call it right, it gets banished. And if they call it wrong, it gets special summoned. And in this deck, there are so many combo-based moves that you can do that will move all your monsters to the point where your opponent will either no longer care what the hell is in the graveyard, or you'll just completely lose track, and usually will call the wrong monster. This is a card that you're not going to be putting too much dependency on, because if he calls it right, it gets banished. But I mean, like, if you're using question, you're just like, you know what, let's just have fun. Question. They get it wrong, you get +1. That's amazing. They get it right, who cares? You just put it for fun, so it's not gonna hurt you, right? So I decided to run question because it's just freaking hilarious. You have no idea how many times most of my opponents take like 5 minutes to think. Oh yeah, by the way, you can't even look at the graveyard when you activate this, and even if you chain a card, you still can't. Nope. But some of my opponents took like 5-10 minutes just to try to figure out who might have been in the graveyard, and every single time but one, just one, they were all wrong. So I get to +1 and boom, 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 boom. So that's my main deck. It's 40 cards. It's a very good run. I love it. I freaking can't change it in any other way or form. I really don't want to. I guess maybe the one card I would swap is this, but everything else is perfect, just perfect. So let me go with the extra deck. There's only a few cards that I don't have yet. Again, it's really hard to get for some reason. No one has them. But right now I'm be showing what I do have. Obviously, Infernity Doom for the synchro abilities, level 8. It pops to burn as well. It's an Infernity monster as well. 3000 beat stick. Double 100 eyes. Banish a dark monster from your graveyard. Gain the effects. 3000 beat stick. Double Void Ogre, because one time my opponent got rid of one and I was like, crap, I needed Void Ogres, so I managed to make a play to bring it back. So double. Then Armory Arm. And then that's it for the real synchros. Now I have a Mistworm, Alicutaster, Stygian Street Patrol. I'm really thinking of swapping this out for something else. I'm still debating. So that's all for the synchros. And then for the exceeds, pretty simple. Levier, for when you banish a Mirage to bring it back. Leviathan for level 3s. Shockmaster. Dijin. And then finally the 2 Laval chains. Still trying to get my hands on. It's surprisingly harder than I expect. And that's an entire deck. And let me just show you what I side. I never really put them in there, but you know, it's just funny. I put double Summoner Monk. Sorry about that. I put 2 Summoner Monks so I can go for the Exceed run. I'm still trying to get more cards, such as Instant Fusion, but that's about it. Then I run Forbidden Graveyard. Let me read it. Activate by discarding 1 card. So it's a good hand slimmer. Effects that activate in the graveyard this turn are negated. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like a soul. What was it? Soul Taker? I forgot. Monster Gate. I don't know.